That could have been awkward, couldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that we had multiple record.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, football aficionados and casual fans alike, welcome back to another wonderful, fantastical, amazing, I can't think of any more superlatives that I've caught at the end.
Yep.
Welcome back to the Sunday League Effect with myself and Nicholas.
Oh, we're going back to this, are we?
The brains and the brawn, brains and the brawn. What would you be? Anyway, neither.
I'd definitely be the brawn.
Yeah,
and I say that not because I'm muscly or anything like that,
just
but more
you're
because
definitely not the brains.
Definitely because I'm not the brains. Yeah.
I'm still looking for an alternative helper. By the way,
he's tried to replace me, but you can't.
Today we're diving into the weekend of the Premier League, which thrown in some shockers, to be honest, with the results. Anyway, maybe not.
No, I wouldn't say
scorelines. Maybe not.
Yeah,
results.
scorelines have been more of the shockers across this weekend. Some big goals.
Yeah, and we're here
to
talk about a few of them, not all of them, because let's be honest,
not all of them were that exciting, but there were some belters in this.
There were
some great goals scored this weekend as well. Like some actual really nice goals.
Yeah. But anyway, welcome back. Like and subscribe, and let's jump into it.
Yeah, let's do it. Where do you want to start? What game?
We got to start the Arsenal game.
Yeah,
I actually don't think Man City were that bad yesterday. So
I actually think this will divide quite a few people. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Arsenal fans will obviously agree with me.
Not terror
already. I thought the game started yesterday very equal.
Let's start with that. How did you think the game was? How did you find the game?
For me, the first half, very, very equul. Mm-hmm. Then even though Arsenal scored within 2 minutes?
Yeah, they scored early on. Had a goal disallowed in the 8th or 9th as well, yeah.
Exactly. There wasn't a dominating performance from either team in the first half. Second half starts. Mm-hmm. Let me finish mm-hmm. before you get your 2 pence in. Second half starts. Yeah. Man City came out of the blocks a lot better, I'd say. They got their equaliser. And then it all just fell apart. Then Arsenal got their second. And that was it. Man City were Man United.
On that equaliser.
Yeah.
They were only level for 105 seconds.
That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous.
And from that point when City scored, I thought they'd go on and win the game, to be honest. This is the way that I watched the game, and this is the way that I hope someone out there agrees with me. Especially, not the whole game, because obviously you don't lose 5-1 by being the better team.
No.
Or being equal. But the XG does tell you that the scoreline should have been a lot closer. I think it was 1.82 or 2.28 to 1.5 something. It shouldn't have been 5-1.
No.
Firstly, Ortega is a dreadful goalkeeper. He should have done better with at least 3 of the goals.
Horrendous performance from him.
Goalkeepers, unfortunately, the position that they play in, it's very hard. Anywhere else on the pitch, you can make a mistake and sometimes get away with it. If you're a keeper, he should have done better with at least 3 of the goals. So the way that I see it is, Arsenal scored early on, and then Arteta did his usual tactic of sitting back and not letting his players come out. I say not letting his players come out. That's a tactic. They were 1-0 up and they ended up winning the game. So
almost
I can't
absorbing
really.
The pressure.
So they sat back into their hard to beat formation, which works for them, and it worked the first half. It kept City relatively quiet. They constantly wanted to push the ball out. Their Arsenal were happy for City to push the ball out to the right hand side and give Matheus Nunes the ball as much as he wanted, because every time he got it, he went backwards.
Yeah.
The problem City had is that they didn't have any cutting edge in the final third. For all their trying and probing, passing, it doesn't win you games.
No. It used to, not anymore.
Yeah. So and then the second half started, I think City started the better team.
I'll agree with you on that.
Got the equaliser deservedly, and then sucker punch, second, third kills the game. Up until that point is where I'd say I think City were the better team. Until Arsenal went 3-1 ahead. I say the better team. It was an even game.
3-1.
Up to 3-1, because the goals were so close together.
Yeah.
What I will give Arsenal a lot of credit for is the way that they came out and really started to play their football. That's what I wanted to see from Arsenal. Yeah. When it was 3-1, they played some really good football. And they got goals football. And they worked the spaces and they created chances. That's what we want to see from a title-winning team. That's what you see Liverpool doing.
Yeah, 100%.
they were just a bit too pragmatic for my liking. I know they're going for a title, but they're still in the chasing pack. They need to twist at some point.
Yeah.
And maybe now's the time to do it. So it's deadline day today.
Yeah.
This is a slightly fork in the road, but I'll come back. With that performance from Arsenal, I think now more than ever, and I've said it before, and you've said it before, and loads of people have said it, deadline day, go and get a striker. Close that 6-point gap to Liverpool, because Liverpool will drop points. They cannot afford to not win every single game until the end of the season.
They have to.
They need to win every game.
Yeah. It's the only way they're going to keep up with Liverpool. And
I think Liverpool will drop points. They've got Everton coming up in a few weeks, and a new lease of life for Everton, is a harder game than what many would have anticipated. And it's quite... Go and get a striker. Go and get a striker and close that gap, because if you had a striker, if you had Ollie Watkins, which ironically, who they bid for during the week, they'd be much closer to Liverpool.
Yeah, I agree. But then it's sort of one of those, you look at the performance against City without a striker. Mm-hmm. So, do you think there would have been more goals in it? If there was...
I think their striker would have had a hat-trick, because Havertz got one and he should have had 3.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
So... I think they would have had a hat-trick. But this is what I mean. Like, in that game, so they go to Anfield without a striker. They're only going to get... There's going to be a game of few chances for both teams.
They need someone who can finish.
They need a predator in the box. And if Saka isn't back by then...
Yeah.
They don't really have it. Like, Havertz's goal he took very well, but he missed chances before then.
You can see he was so low on confidence.
Yeah.
Like, massively.
But just on City, obviously, the master and the apprentice is what it's been for a while now. Has Arteta now usurped Pep, and is he now the master?
No. Although Arsenal have been playing really well.
5 games unbeaten against Pep now.
Yeah, and that's good, but that only proves that he can beat Pep. But Pep is better overall. Look at his record. But Premier League, Champions League.
I know, and you can't take away from his CV. He has been a phenomenal manager. But here's the question I pose to you and you.
Go on.
Can he only do it with a team that's already full of stars, or with a bottomless pit of money? Because if you look at the Bayern team, look at the Barca team of years gone by, and you look at the City team. So if you go back to Barca, his first real big job, they had the best Barcelona team in history, arguably.
Yeah.
Then Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
They're always going to win the league. Then he went to City, who had endless amounts of money, who he could get in anyone he wanted, and the foundation was already there. Because they'd already won the league, they'd already got over that go. He just needed to get in a few more players. So I don't think Pep can adapt the style of play in game. Like, it's
so doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is the epitome of insanity or something.
Yeah, something like that. But that wasn't what I was getting at. But but basically, it's the same thing. He can't change in game.
Yeah,
like,
we did touch on this.
Passing, and there's no one. He had De Bruyne. I know De Bruyne's not the same player. He ended up on the bench till the 60th minute. Didn't bring on Jack Grealish. Savinho, for all the raw talent that he might have, didn't do anything.
No.
I like the looks of Mamouche, who's come in. He looked like a bright spark. But again, is that just before Pep's had the chance to
ruin him,
get the Pep effect and discourage the stuff that makes him unique in that City team? Yeah. John Stones looked bereft of confidence. You see his interview afterwards. No. He looked like he was going to start crying.
I mean, it was his fault for 2 of the goals.
He's just been shit. They've all just been dreadful.
But then again, that's his 5th start this season, or since Christmas, I think the commentator said. And I mean, he's been riddled with injuries.
Yeah, he's
not the same player that he.
I think there should be a platform for Arsenal to really, really push on for the tail end of the season.
Especially,
I wouldn't be surprised with the Carabao Cup this week of them turning up and turning over Newcastle. Obviously, they've got a 2-goal deficit, which is massive.
Yeah, but could be a good game.
I think it'll be a very good game. Yeah, I've got a couple of stats for you.
Go on.
Man City's leaky defence. Second time I've said that this year, I think. Yeah. They've now conceded 4+ goals 4 times this season. A new record in Pep's managerial career.
Jesus.
Dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. He stayed too long. He should have gone last year. I think that's what it is, because if you look at when he left Barca, it was before the financial troubles came in. Yeah. Before Bayern, conveniently, was before they lost. They did a couple of years before they failed to win the Bundesliga for the first time in however long. He always has a knack for getting out when the time's right, and he hasn't done that at City. Ethan Nwaneri, again, 17. As soon as he picked the ball up, I was like, goal.
Yeah.
Very good finish. I think Ortega should do better with it, though. And Miles Lewis-Skelly both scored. So, Miles Lewis-Skelly with his giving Haaland a bit of humble pie. I didn't realise, but that was the player that Haaland turned round to in the first game and was like, who the fuck are you? Because he pushed him. I didn't realise it was the same player. It was like his first start for Arsenal, or one of his first games.
Jesus.
What do you think of Lewis-Skelly?
I think he's promising. Like, he shows some real talent.
Yeah, he definitely does have a lot of talent on him, and he seems to have a massive personality.
Do you know what? I was actually going to say that is my only concern. I feel like he's going to get too big for his boots too early on, because he's doing really well and he's playing really well, and that's great, and you're playing really well in a good Arsenal team. Yeah. But if Arsenal drop off at any point and that personality stays up there, you've got to understand that there's going to be really difficult games. Level yourself out.
But you need to lead by example when the times are good and when the times are bad. Similarly, if you look at like Rashford, this is where he always struggled. Yeah. Time will tell, but I think the future is promising for Lewis-Skelly, and Nwaneri is an absolute gem. Yeah, I really like the look of him.
Really promising for Arsenal to see their young talent doing so well.
17 and 18.
Yeah.
And that's playing at the very top level. That's unreal. But they're the youngest duo to score against the reigning champs since Wayne Rooney in 2003.
Jesus.
And that's when he scored against United, I believe.
Yeah.
Where does leave City and Arsenal? For me, I think... I don't think Arsenal are in the title race. I think the title's done. That game that Liverpool won at the weekend just cements it even more. But there's no reason why Arsenal can't run it very, very close and put in the foundations now for a very, very good season next year.
I think it's also good to keep the pressure on Liverpool, because if there is a time that Liverpool do drop off, but Arsenal don't, I'm not saying Liverpool are going to drop off to a point where they lose the next 4 games or whatever.
They're 6 points ahead with a game in hand still. So let's say it's 9 points.
Yeah.
It's been done before.
It's not impossible, and I think that's what Arsenal need to remember.
Hold hope of that. And City, where does this leave City?
Well, City, I think their title hopes are gone. I think they've been gone for ages. But
the top 4 is all they're playing for now, and that's what Pep said.
I don't even know if they're still playing for top 4.
Well, they're 5th.
They are. But if they keep losing games the way that they've been losing games, I could see them not making it.
I take back what I said earlier. I don't think City were the better team. I don't. Arsenal probably deserved the win, but I think it was a lot closer than what you were making out yesterday and what the scoreline suggests. Quickly, what did you think about this whole vendetta that the whole Arsenal squad have got against Haaland now, and all the fans? Because since what he said about...
Just get over it.
We said at the time, I didn't particularly like what he said to Pep, to Arteta.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's living rent-free in every single one of those players who are talking about it, acting up about it. Every one of those fans. I saw someone, they've got a shirt printed that said "Stay humble." Yeah,
I saw someone with a big old sign saying "Stay humble,"
and it's just like rent free. He's got exactly what he wanted. Yes, you beat them. Well done. Congratulations, you beat City. But it doesn't win you the title. You're still going to finish second at best. I like it. Look, football's theatrical sport.
Yeah,
it's all about the drama. We love the drama.
Makes it what's exciting.
It's our today's Colosseum.
Yeah.
Especially these big spectacles, the big games. We want to see a little 100%. Bit of needle. I do. But Haaland didn't really give anything back. Even when he scored, he didn't.
No.
He didn't. So it just tells me that it looks to me Haaland is already over you. You're irrelevant to him.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
And he's all you're thinking about. He's your main motivator. And if it works for you, great. But you can't just keep using that as a springboard.
It's done now.
It's done. No, so I hope it's done now.
They don't play again this season. No. That's it. That's both games done. So all I'm really hoping is that next season when we see Arsenal playing City again, I don't want to see it. Don't bring it up.
Yeah, it's done.
No need. Absolutely no need.
Don't make it out to be bigger than it is. Like it's not. It ain't that deep.
Just get over yourself.
Anyway, on to the other side of North London and Spurs. Spurs managed to get a win.
They did.
Who'd have thought it?
I know. What you thought?
I actually thought Spurs would beat Brentford, yeah.
I was a bit hit and miss about this game with Spurs' recent form. I thought on paper...
the defence is just dreadful.
Yeah, but they haven't got a defence.
Yeah, exactly.
Injury prone... not injury prone. Injury riddled.
I just read this stat. I know I typed it up. I've just read it. Spurs actually won a London derby away from home. Their first since 2023.
Wow. So is that any London... team, not
not the
North London derby.
Yeah, any London team away from home. They've not won.
It's 2023.
Yeah, that's
so 2 seasons.
Yeah, that's that. But I mean, they are like 15th, 14th now.
Yeah, but that's this season. I didn't think they were that bad. I mean, I don't think they were great last season.
Really well. But anyway, on to the game. Brentford. I think it's a bit of one of those. I see the score and it tells a different story to the game.
Yeah.
Because before we get into Brentford had 20 shots with an XG of 2.29. That is woefully bad finishing for a team that we spoke about a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Their proficiency being so much higher than every other team in the Premier League.
When we went through our 2024 review,
that was massive, and they.
But this says a lot as to why they're not higher than they are. They haven't got finishers apparently.
But they do. It's just. I think it's just one of those games. Like if you watch the game, which I know you watched it a bit.
Yeah, I watched that one.
It was one of those that, similar to my game on Saturday, we could have played until Sunday morning and not scored a goal. It just wasn't going to happen.
Nothing was coming off.
And I think it was highlighted with the ball came over to Wissa about 8 yards out. You just have to touch it and it goes in. He touched it and it went over. It's not even the striker's fault. Like, he's got minimal contact.
Yeah.
It's just where it's hit him, because the ball with so much pace put in. There's very little you can do apart from just put your body in the way and hope it goes in.
Yeah, bounces off you and goes in. That's exactly how Son scored.
Well, there was an own goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he hit the corner in.
Unfortunate.
And it looks like, so I think the commentator was right what they said yesterday, that it looks like he's tried to duck because he assumed his keeper was going to come to it. Realistically, as a Premier League football player, you should know, never just chance it. If you can get it and clear it, do it. Yeah. Why would you duck and hope that your keeper's going to get it?
There was a few oddities in that game. Obviously, it was a debut for the Brentford goalkeeper, I believe. Not one to remember because he didn't have
good start.
Best game. Flecken, I don't know, must be injured.
Gotta be.
But another own goal for Spurs' benefit by Janelt. That's another player to add to the growing list of own goals who have scored.
They're just trying to help him. Shock.
So, Spurs broke their London derby curse.
Yeah.
I'd imagine this will be a good platform for them against Liverpool.
100%.
Again, Carabao Cup games this week. I don't know if it's Tuesday, Wednesday, or Wednesday, Thursday.
I think it's Wednesday, Thursday.
Well, obviously, Tottenham won against Liverpool first game. They won 1-0, so Liverpool have to turn that around. And then vice versa. Newcastle won at the Emirates 2-0. So now Arsenal have to go away and turn that around. So they're two very good games because
they should be
two
really
favourites going into it are behind. So keep your eye on that one.
Should be an interesting
Spurs fans must be happy though with a win.
Yeah.
Ange Postecoglou got another week. Bloody Ange.
Yeah, I don't know how he's managed.
Have you watched his interviews? Whenever they ask him a question, he's like this. He always looks down. And have you watched him in an interview? He does his interviews. I say, well, listen to the question and he'll go,
the referee was useless and we've got no defenders and it's a really stupid question.
That was amazing. That was really good.
And then he'll go back up. But why does he look down? It's like he's reading it on his hand.
Probably. Maybe he's like, yeah, I'll say that. He's got like responses. So like when you play FIFA career mode and you have like 3 responses. That's it.
I think with Ange, I think next season will be a good season for Spurs. They're getting a few players in. They're linked with Matisse Tell from Bayern Munich. They've offered 50 million, which has been accepted, I believe.
Oh wow!
But apparently the players rejected them. He's 19. He's not a finished project just yet.
He probably wants to win things.
Apparently he's choosing United over them.
Oh,
so he can't be that optimistic.
Okay, he doesn't want to win anything.
But there is movement at Spurs, and we'll talk a little bit about transfers at the end.
Yeah.
But stick with Ange. I know it's very difficult, and I flip flop about it.
It's one of those
season is over for Spurs, like it is for United. So Spurs' focus should be on Europa League, Carabao Cup,
and not getting relegated. I think,
but they're not going to get relegated. They're just not. Talking about a team that might get relegated though. United, Manchester United.
Bringing them out all today, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling pantsy.
These are all Mike's multiple personalities, by the way.
Yeah, that was Steve, the United fan. Lost at home to Palace.
Yeah,
I don't know how many losses, but I've actually got. So it doesn't say how many, but United's worst home record since 1893 to 94. 1893.
Jesus.
That is over 140 years ago.
Yeah.
About 135 years ago, something like that.
It's when Old Trafford used to actually be a coliseum.
Yeah. They failed to score in 18 first halves this season. At this point, they may as well just come in at half-time. Start at half-time.
Yeah, they should probably just start at half-time, really, shouldn't they?
You just copied what I said.
Oh, I thought you were going to then go into your quip.
But I've already done the quip.
Oh.
Arteta masterclass. 6 goals in 2025.
That's good.
Same as last season. He doesn't start until like January.
Maybe that's just
level of Chris Wood and Phil Foden. Christian Eriksen made his 300 Premier League appearance. Probably should have stopped at 150.
Probably.
Shouldn't have gone to United. I reckon he should have stayed at Brentford. What is wrong with United? Because
Amorim.
Do you think it's Amorim? You think he's the problem?
Do you know what I think it is?
Tell us what you really think.
I'll tell you what I really think.
What you really, really, really think.
Tell me. So
we rehearsed that.
Yeah. I think it's maybe not so much Amorim. I think he's a factor in it. United have been quite stagnant for the last couple of seasons. Like they're not really doing anything. They're not going up. They're not going down.
Trophies. They won trophies though.
Yeah. How many? 1?
2.
The FA Cup.
Carabao Cup.
Oh right. Okay. Yeah. So that's fine. Neither of them with Amorim though. But I think he's upset the cuckoo's nest. That's
you combined 2.
I know it's not quite that, but what is it? Upset the what?
No.
It's upset the cuckoo's nest.
No, it's not.
And what do you do to the cuckoo's nest?
I don't know.
Okay.
One flew over the cuckoo's nest. That means he's mental. Well, apple cart, upset the apple cart.
No, because you knock over the apple cart.
No, you're just making phrases up.
No.
Upset the apple cart. That's the phrase.
Why would you upset the apple cart?
Because it means the apples will fall out.
What? It's a cart. You can't upset it.
Yes, you can. On a little stony place. On a stony cobble street. Yeah, cobble street.
Where are we going with this?
I don't know. What were you trying to say?
So he's really upset how everything is sort of settled at United. I think he's trying to make too big a change too quickly. He's taken out, like, obviously Rashford's
It's not the change that we've said needed to happen.
Oh, I agree.
And so many. Because I don't hear a lot of United fans getting on his case, to be honest.
No, probably not, because they're used to losing.
Ooh, from a Watford fan who hasn't won since Boxing Day.
Yeah, I know. We need to go back.
You are just over. I looked at it at the weekend. Coventry are behind you now. Yeah. They were in the relegation zone when Frank Lampard took over. Anyway, look, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I do think I don't know. Maybe I am.
Sounds like you're beating around the bush.
I don't think it's Amorim at all. But saying that, I do think they'd be in a better position if they kept Ten Hag.
I think
what you need to look at, right, is none of these players. So I know he didn't start strikers at the weekend. He didn't buy over those strikers. No. None of these players are his players. Not one. DODGY, they've just bought in. Their only player. The only player that he has chose to have. He's got a squad which everyone keeps saying it's not very good. It is. There's some very good players. Bruno Fernandes is one of the best number 8s or 10s, whatever position he plays in the Premier League. You've got Garnacho, who's one of the biggest talents. Mainu, another big talent. Ugarte is a very good player. They have got good players. The problem is that their team is very unbalanced.
Yeah.
They need the left back, which they've got. They had a back 3 yesterday. I don't rate Yoro. I don't see it. I really don't. Every game that he's played, he seems to make a mistake.
Yeah, he's the one with a really long face.
Yeah.
Looks like a horse.
Yeah, he looks like a horse. Yeah. The reason you might not see it as much is because they play with a back 3. If you play with a back 3, individual mistakes quite often are dealt with by one of the covering centre backs. So you don't see, so it doesn't lead to a goal scoring opportunity.
It's almost like he gets away with it.
Yeah, he either doesn't suit a back 3, which again Amorim didn't buy him, even though Amorim wants to play a back 3. Mm-hmm. He isn't a player that he bought for it.
Yeah.
Martinez is now out for the season with a knee injury.
Yeah.
So he's going to be stuck with De Ligt when he's fit. Martinez,
Maguire.
De Ligt, Maguire. Sorry, not Martinez. Lenny Euro, Lindelof's still there, and then Mazraoui can probably come in. At the back, but Euro I just don't like. They're unbalanced. Their midfield, he hasn't worked out how he wants to play. He played without a striker yesterday. He played Mainu as a false 9, which did work for the first 15 minutes. It looked to be creating spaces, whereas Palace obviously, their centre backs wanted someone to mark. Mainu's dropping in a hole. If there's no one to mark,
they're sort of lost, aren't they? Exactly. You don't have a place to go.
They don't know if to stick or twist. And obviously, Garnacho and Ahmad were having a lot of joy at picking up the balls in the space where the defenders have sort of half gone.
Yeah.
Palace got a hold of the game, and then from that point, looked like they were going to win.
Yeah.
But if I can see that, Amorim must see it, and he has said numerous times it's going to get worse. We got to go through a period of bad to get to the good. But how long is he going to get?
Yeah, this is what I don't get.
They're not. Look, Manchester United aren't blessed with being able to be patient. If they don't
at this point in time, they're not.
I'll tell you what. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They're not
high enough in the table.
They're a team that need Champions League football.
Yeah.
They need it. They can have a season off here or there, but they need Champions League football for the revenue, for the PSR, because of the wages that they pay. So, I understand Amorim and United now putting all their eggs into the Europa League and the FA Cup basket.
Yeah.
But saying that, if he doesn't win either of those, he's gone. He's gone, and then who do you get in? Because that's another rebuild. This is why I think he's not been given financial freedom. The only reason they bought Dorgu in is because Rashford's gone out on loan.
Yeah.
And Garnacho was being pushed out the door to try and free up funds for more players. Like Matthias Tell's linked to Man United, a loan deal, but that's a like for like. That's not. He's not. You need a finished project.
I'm surprised he wouldn't want
these talents.
Amorim. I'm surprised Amorim didn't want Garnacho.
It's not. I don't think it's Amorim. I think it's the board. Saying we've not got money. We need to sell our assets.
So they're selling someone with the cheapest amount of wages of the whole squad.
It's the fee, but then even the fee that they were wanting was well underpriced. It was like 40 million. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But anyway, he's staying now. I think Amorim said that he's come out and said that he's done a complete flip. Garnacho, since he got dropped against City, his turnaround has been phenomenal, basically.
Okay.
But let's not detract from Crystal Palace. 3 months ago, we were looking at it being like, Glasnow's got to go.
Yeah.
And I'll hold my hands up and be like, it's just not working for whatever reason. Maybe they should. I think I probably said go and get Potter. Yeah. And I don't know if I did. I don't know if I did.
But there was a conversation about how we felt
they were
he wasn't the right
really
person
struggling.
for him. Yeah.
But at the minute, they are, kudos to them, they are on a very, very good run of form. They're now up to 10th or 11th.
Yeah, they're doing really well.
And can finish the season similarly to how they finished last season, which is then goes into why we expected so much at the beginning of this season, but it didn't quite work out.
But then are they going to do the same thing next season?
Well, in their defence, they did lose Joachim Anderson, starting centre-back, and they lost Michael Elise.
Yeah, and Elise was massive for last season.
So I think Anderson was arguably a bigger miss for them because they had to replace a starting centre back.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think he plays 3 at the back now. I'm not 100% sure. I might be wrong. But
I haven't watched Palace much this season.
No, neither have I. And they got in what's his name, Lacroix, who looks like a phenomenal signing, but it took him a little while to bed in to take Anderson's place. But Manchester United in crisis.
Absolutely.
I can see them going out of the Europa League and not winning the FA Cup, and Amorim being sacked and not even getting the 3 years like we predicted.
Yeah, because that's normally what the turnaround we've always spoken about for United is. But at this season, and probably the last couple of seasons, the hiring and firing of managers is envious of what Watford's is. It seems that everyone's seen how we do it and thought, let's do that. And it doesn't work. Okay, sorry.
I mean, it does work.
It does work. It does work for some. Doesn't work for all.
No, it doesn't. There's no longevity to it.
No.
You need at some point.
It's good for short-term success, but if you want to have the long-term success like the United of old,
you need to get the root cause.
Yeah,
and the root cause clearly isn't the manager because it continues as the manager goes. But we've spoken enough about United. On to Liverpool, who stay top with a 2-0 win versus Brentford, and now that's 19 games unbeaten.
Against who?
Bournemouth.
You just said Brentford.
Did I?
Yeah.
Bournemouth B.
Bournemouth B.
Bournemouth B. Sorry, I sorry.
That's
Liverpool stay top, beating Bournemouth.
Yeah.
There you go. Happy now? 2-0.
I am. Thank you. Which I think
Mo Salah got another 2 goals. Ballon d'Or incoming.
Absolutely better.
If they win the Champions League, the Premier League, he gets Golden Boot. If he doesn't get the Ballon d'Or,
I have
no idea what's going on.
If Salah doesn't get the Ballon d'Or, I'm doing a petition.
With those. So you got
with those. Sorry, with the Champions League, Premier League, and which one was the one?
A top goal scorer.
Top goal scorer. Yeah. If he doesn't get the Ballon d'Or, then it's racist.
It's racism. It's completely against. It's just they can't have an African.
Who won it this year?
Rodri.
Where's he from?
Not Africa.
Exactly. Exactly that.
He's got 300 club career goals.
It's a good game.
That's mental. His second goal was well good as well. Did you see it?
No.
It was like, you remember Iron Robin?
Yeah.
He made a career out of just cutting in the left foot and bending it.
Yeah.
That, but like right in the stands, it was great finish.
That is Salah's game.
Yeah.
That's what he does. He scores like goals all the time.
Credit where credit's due to both teams. This is a potential banana skin for any Premier League chasing team. Bournemouth in phenomenal form. I think they were unbeaten in 10.
They're on fire.
Beating a whole heap of teams. None more important than last week, or none more profound as last week when they smashed Forest. Bournemouth did put in a massive shift. Go on.
Yeah, my only hope now is that although they're on such a good run, I hope that this doesn't knock them.
Yeah, bounce back.
Like, I'm hoping that after this loss, they're not just going to carry on.
Yeah,
they're going to go.
It's a one-off. It's a free hit. This is
Liverpool are a free hit for most teams.
Liverpool, Arsenal, even Man City are free hits.
Yeah,
like. And actually, especially Man City, because you don't know which Man City's going to turn up.
No, you do not.
You just got to try.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Bournemouth did put in a massive shift and are unlucky to come away with a 2-0 loss. Debatable, the penalty. I think it probably was a penalty. Slight clip. Slowed down, you see it. Questionable offside for Bournemouth, who equalised, and it was disallowed.
Yeah.
Again, marginally offside.
It's too close to call.
But these minor details are what just tells you that it is going Liverpool's way. Like it.
Yeah, the luck of a draw is just for them.
An inch either way. That's
that game's different,
and it's not a penalty. So it's a completely different game.
Absolutely. But again, I'm not an advocate for VAR and things like that. But it's those sort of decisions
what
that
it's
aimed for.
Yeah, because I don't know if the ref gave the penalty or not. I think he did, and it wasn't overturned correctly. The goal was given originally. And then VAR saw the offside, and it was offside. Kirkhead said they'd gone half a yard too soon.
And it's unfortunate.
It was a frustrating thing for him.
Yeah.
Curtis Jones, my favourite English midfielder, got another assist.
Yep, good.
I don't know how many that is for the season. I don't know why I put that in and not put how many he's got. But Liverpool are on an unmovable object at the minute. They're not looking like slowing down. They're getting the job done, similarly to how Man City did it for the last couple of years. They just look... They always look like title winners. This is another game that really just ticks a box for me. The Liverpool are going to come out winners, and credit to Slot. There was a question that was posed that I heard on. I don't know where I heard it, but I'll ask you it because I imagine you haven't heard it. Is and same to you guys if you haven't. If Slot wins the league this year, does it diminish what Klopp did? Because he's coming with a Klopp team.
Yeah.
And won it with no signings.
I think it sort of maybe enhances Klopp's legacy, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Because although he's come in and changed the play style a little bit, he's not changed any of the team. So it just goes to show how strong the foundations that Klopp built up, that not any manager, I'm sure, but Slot managed to come in with the foundations already built for him, change nothing, and win the league. I think, if anything, it just enhanced it. That's my opinion.
No, I don't really have an opinion on it, to be honest. I think Klopp did a phenomenal job with rebuilding the team the first time.
Yep.
This was the beginning. Last season was the beginning of a rebuild again, which he had to do, which he obviously put the foundation in place because Slot's come in and not had to do anything.
Slotted in nicely.
There he is. Dad jokes at the ready. That's his back pocket trump card. Anyway, on to the next game. We'll go to the other side of Mersey.
The other Merseyside.
Yeah. Everton. 4-0 against Leicester. David Moyes, the Messiah. They're now just behind West Ham. They're going to get Europe.
Do you reckon?
They've won 3 in a row.
Yeah, I mean, they're on
Everton fans. Any Everton fans, did you see a U-turn in performance as big as this?
Yeah.
Because
they've been playing phenomenally as well.
They've got a good team.
Yeah.
Who knew they had a good team?
No one. I don't even think Everton knew they had a good team.
They've got some good players. Bezo's even scoring. He bagged 2.
Yeah.
And they were good finishes as well. And the worst thing for the rest of the Premier League, I'll tell you this for nothing, is that Bezo is the exact... If David Moyes could build a striker, it would be Bezo. 6 foot plus, fast, strong, good in the air. Finishing doesn't need to be that good.
Just as long as he's
because he's going to get him to run the channels, give those centre-backs an absolute nightmare, and then he'll have the players behind him like... is it Kimstrom?
Yeah.
They're letting them die behind him. They're going to get loads of goals next year. Next season, Everton are going to do well.
That's exactly what we've done with Antonio, isn't it?
Yeah,
Antonio was big, strong.
He was a right back when he came in. Done the same with Arnautovic as well the first time he came in at West Ham, so he loves that. And then if you look back at his Everton team before, he had strikers exactly like that. The only one which wasn't really a striker would be Tim Cahill, who's slightly different. He played as like a false nine, but it's a different style of play. But Abdoulaye Doucouré, Watford legend, fastest ever Premier League goal at home for Everton. And can you tell me the time?
10.18 seconds.
Yeah, how'd you know that?
I saw it yesterday.
10.18 seconds, that's mad.
I can't believe I got the 0.18 though.
You know it's quick when the game comes on and they're still going through the team at the bottom.
And there's a goal. Oh!
Or the commentators are saying hello to each other still.
Yeah.
So Beto's brace. He has already matched his goal tally from last season in just 15 games.
Wow.
I don't know how many that is. It's probably only about... In 15 games, he's probably got about 4 goals.
4 goals.
Yeah, something like that.
More.
Pickford got an assist. My FPL goalkeeper.
Yes.
Get up there.
Go on.
He is the second in clean sheets as well, behind Matt Sells of Forest.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Only Ederson has... So he's got 2 Premier League assists this season. Only Ederson has more since 2022.
Route 1 works?
Yeah, it does work. Speaking of Route 1, Nottingham Forest 7, Brighton 0. A FIFA scoreline.
That is...
No red cards.
No.
Only 1 penalty.
Yeah.
And Forest, I don't have it written down here, but I know this because I checked it afterwards, only had 9 shots on target and 7 went in. And I don't think Verbruggen could have done better with many of them.
No, this is it. So it just goes to show that sometimes you just need some wood.
I really like that one. Wood got a hat-trick.
Yeah,
hat-trick.
I'm
not counting them. It's 11 for the year across the Premier League.
That's good.
19 is a record. I remember that from my question a few weeks back.
There you go.
And there's been one every week since we said it.
Do you reckon we could beat it?
8 more in, 19 games?
Oh, we could do it.
No, it's less than that. 18 games.
Yeah, because we're on
18 games. Yeah, no, we can do it, definitely.
I reckon we could do it.
From 5-0 losers to 7-0 winners in back-to-back games.
That's mad.
It is mad. It's I think it's the first time ever a team's played back-to-back games, had a 5-0 deficit and still finished on a positive, a net positive. And
so positive as well. And I watched the game and the scoreline is actually exactly what it is. That's how Forest played and that's how Brighton received it.
Yeah, slightly fortunate with the first goal being an own goal. But saying that...
Dunk scoring.
Yeah, again, another own goal. I think Richard Dunn's the only centre-back to score more own goals than him.
It's those surname D's.
Get those D's.
Those D's are scoring.
But yeah, Forest smashed Brighton.
Yeah, there's nothing more you can say about it, really.
I want to talk about Brighton, actually, because I think us as fans have been a little bit hoodwinked by Ursula.
Okay.
Look at their team.
Mm-hmm.
On paper, they have a very good team.
Yeah.
They have a better team than Forest on paper.
On paper, yeah.
A better team than Brentford on paper. A better team than Fulham on paper. And they're 10th. And this, I know it's 7-0, they're not lost by this much, but there's a lot of shock results against Brighton this season. Yeah. So...
Maybe.
Time will tell.
Absolutely. Maybe it's just the foundations from Graham Potter's era have sort of stayed in, and that's what sort of kept everyone thinking, Brighton are going to be really good, and we've just sort of
perspective took it on as well. Perspective, yeah, perspective is a massive thing.
And so, but that's what I mean. So Graham Potter started it all, and that's when people started noticing Brighton really. Yeah. And then obviously Graham Potter went to Chelsea, but De Zerbi came in, carried on that trajectory,
changed a few little bits.
Yeah,
similar to what
carried on.
Did, yeah,
and then. Yeah,
there were times last season though where Brighton did fall off.
Yeah,
there was times when they looked really good.
Yeah, they looked really good,
and then looked really good again. But you're right; it could be just an after effect of what was already instilled in the nature of the club.
Our perspective.
So it's a question I pose to you guys: Is Ursula as good a manager as what
we've all assumed he was?
I've given him credit for. I know I have, and I imagine a load of you guys have. Because I'm not too sure anymore.
What do Brighton fans think? That's what I'd like to know. Where are Brighton fans thinking now?
It's a difficult one, I imagine, for Brighton fans, because being in the Premier League and
they're having not successive trophies and things like that, but they're having good seasons.
There's progression.
Yeah,
but where does the progression stop? Because you're going to end up losing some of your bigger players again, and at some point you're going to hit a dead rubber. You can't just keep finding these gems. It's it won't.
It won't work forever.
There'll be a point where you'll have a window. Sorry, my words literally just left me.
Yeah.
You have a window where the players don't work.
Yeah.
Like, you're not always going to be able to replace Caicedo with Baleba. You're not always going to be able to replace Trossard with Matoma.
Yeah.
You're not going to be like factually, there's not enough players
that they can afford.
Brighton.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see how the rest of the season goes for Brighton and next season.
Yeah.
I'm not saying get rid of him. I'm just saying keep an eye on Brighton and keep an eye on the way that they play, because they're very open, as what 7-0 suggests.
Yeah, absolutely.
But onto the positive. Chris Wood is now, I think, 2 goals behind Haaland, 3 or 4 behind Mo Salah, 17 this season.
That's good going.
That's no one ever thought he could do it. I've always liked Chris Wood. He's always been consistently up there in the top percentile of shot conversion rates.
Yeah.
It's just
he's a solid player overall.
Yeah, he's an unorthodox striker nowadays. He's the pinnacle of what we grew up watching.
Yeah.
Big centre forward like Duncan Ferguson, but his finishing is very good, and his composure is peak.
Yeah.
Another red card for the manager as well for Brighton. He got sent off again.
Again?
Yeah.
How many's that for him this season? Do you know?
Well, he got sent off in the last game against Forest. They both did.
Yeah.
So minimum 2. I think 3 though. I think he's been sent off 3 times.
Jesus.
For a young man, that's a bit
not good going.
It's not good at all. Quick, we will do a transfer roundup.
Yeah.
I don't actually have anything written down, so if anything's happened today, I apologise. But big news.
We'll update on our Twitter.
Yeah. Rashi's now Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Good move.
I think it could be good for him. I'm not sure where he slots in though. Really?
He starts. He'll start on the left hand side.
Yeah, he'll start, but Aston Villa haven't been terrible. I don't know if Rashford is the sort of player they need.
This is my take on it. Rashford needed the move. I think it's a good move for Rashford. I don't think it's particularly a good move for Villa. So in this, they're paying 70% of his wages, which works out about 240 grand a week. Jesus. So they'll make him their highest paid player by a mile.
Yep.
I think there's some buy clause that'll be about 40 million if it goes well. If there's no obligation, I think Villa can activate it if they want to.
If a certain number of things happen.
They are also yesterday in closing a deal to bring Marco Asensio to Villa on loan.
I've read a little something about that.
And they're talking about João Felix as well. The problem I have here is that you're going to get 3 massive names with 3 massive amounts of baggage.
Yeah.
Well, Felix and Rashford, maybe not Asensio. I get that you, at this point, Villa have to stick or twist because they have to get European football next year. Otherwise PSR will be up their arses. They've just sold John Duran for 60 odd million, raising.
I feel like they could have got more from him, considering they sold him to Saudi.
I think he wanted out. I think he wanted out. So they're all right for PSR now, but if they don't get Champions League football for next season, Ollie Watkins is going to be 30. He's their only striker now, so they need to go and buy another striker.
Yeah.
I can't see Rashford ever being a centre forward. He might make the move to Villa and might do really well, but it'll only be for a short period of time because unfortunately Rashford's mentality is exactly like Lingard's was. He's better than Lingard, don't get me wrong. He'll have a good season, get the move and then drop off. I don't ever think Rashford's ever going to be back up here. I think we've seen enough evidence now to see he's plateaued where he wants to be.
He can't build himself.
He might have a little peak, but it will only be to get a new contract.
Yeah.
Marco Asensio isn't fast enough for the Premier League. I see it being another Coutinho.
Yeah.
Without any, Coutinho was less of a risk because he had previous history in the Premier League at the highest level.
Yeah.
João Felix, I don't think pulls up any trees for me. Just a massive amount of baggage and
money,
wages. Yeah, so
he's not going to come in.
It could work really well for Villa. They could finish the season really well, and all 3 of these players, they get them in and they do really well. They've got no centre backs at the minute.
No.
They did just buy one, but they've sold one as well. Tyrone Mings is injured again, who's also not that good. So he's
not having a good season, is he? Mings.
Like the way that who's doing this well at the minute. The way that Arsenal buy is they buy one big player in the summer and they buy a couple of fillers. They're doing it right, although they need to go and get a striker. The way that they buy players, I really do have a lot of time for. Villa seem to be going the other way. And you see it if you go way back to when Leeds screwed up.
Yeah.
Their chairman came out and was like, we spent all the money, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
I fear that Villa might be in a similar position in 2 years' time.
But then, is that not just the same as what Chelsea have done? They've gone out.
Chelsea
and
are
all these.
Chelsea are a bigger club. They've got.
They're bigger. They've got the money to do it.
Well, FFP works on how much the club brings in.
Yeah, so and they bring in more money.
Yeah, it's not necessarily just based on transfers. It's based on revenue made.
And obviously Chelsea are always going to make more money because they're
globally bigger than Aston Villa.
International.
Aston Villa's history is decent, and they are a big club, but Chelsea are bigger.
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. That's what I put it down to.
Look, like you say, it could work out, but it also could really backfire on them and actually cause more risks in the team and more issues than they need, basically.
It surprised me that Unai Emery wants it. It almost has a little bit of desperation. Because it's deadline day, they weren't even linked to Rashford up until 2 days ago.
Until I saw it, I had no idea what was going on with that.
So I think the Duran sale might have caught Emery off guard.
But then again,
I imagine he had to give his blessing or whatever the terminology you want to use,
so that they can talk to him.
Yeah.
Unless that 60 million was a release clause. His contract.
No, it wasn't.
No,
I mean we wouldn't know, but it's raised. It's going up to 77.
I think it could be good for Rashford just to get out of the turmoil of United.
It could go either way.
Yeah,
it's win-win for Rashford because he's actually no, he probably is happy to sit on the bench. It's win-win for United. Sorry.
Yeah.
Because he goes there, does poorly, everyone sees that Rashford is the problem, or is a problem, or he goes there, does really well to get 40 million and 350 grand a week off their wage bill.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's like the money that Rashford costs.
He's done it at United. He's not going back there. So any United fans who hold hope or harbours hopes of him having a good season and going back to, he's not. It's not going to happen. If he has a good season at Villa, they'll activate it and keep him. Yeah. And he'll go because if he has a good season, end of the season, they'll be in the Champions League again. Yeah. That's what is going to go hand in hand with it. West Ham have agreed a deal to bring in Evan Ferguson on loan from Brighton. I like Evan Ferguson. I think he has a really high ceiling, but the problem is there's no obligation or option to buy.
It's just a loan.
So there's no benefit for West Ham apart from just muddle through till the end of the season.
Yeah,
it's win-win for Brighton again because Ferguson goes out, has a good season. 1, raises his value. 2, puts him back in contention for a starting spot because Welbeck's 34 now. Alternatively, goes there, struggles. We tried. He can go now for whatever they sell him for. Yeah. But this is a player who was rated at 90 million last year.
That's mad.
And now they're willing to send him out on loan. He's passed his medical, which was a surprise for me because I didn't think he would. Okay. Others, I talked about Matthias Tell linked with Arsenal, Tottenham, United. I don't think anything's going to happen this window.
It's just one of those things. Yeah. He's just linked.
But there is meant to be big movement at Chelsea today. I don't have any names because they just throw a load of stupid names out constantly. Movement at Chelsea, I'd expect something to happen at United as well.
Going or coming?
Both.
Oh, okay.
And I think something might happen at United as well. Best and the worst of the weekend. Best team? It's got to be Forest. 7-0.
So, yeah, I would say Forest, but then I also think that Arsenal played really well.
Yeah, I'd say Forest. What about you guys? Who do you think? Arsenal, Forest, or any other team? Maybe Spurs. They actually won. Worst team.
Yay! But worst team.
United.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
They lost at home again.
Yeah, no, but...
You're going to say Brighton?
I was going to say Brighton, yeah.
Again, up for debate, but...
Yeah.
Best player from the weekend?
Garnacho. Best player for me for the weekend. Chris Wood.
I've got Wood.
I've got Wood.
Yeah, it's got to be Chris Wood.
Yeah.
Most useless stat. Brentford's 2.29 XG. You can't score expected goals.
Nah.
What a waste
of time.
XG. Yeah, I don't even get it. If you enjoyed this episode, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. Yeah.
Comment something fun.
And also, you never say this. Tick the little thing, the little bell, so you get a notification when we drop.
We're also looking at trying to plan something for the summer break. So if you guys have any ideas, let us know.
Yeah, drop us
any content you want to see.
Yeah, drop us a comment down below of what you want to see us doing in the summer because we want to keep this going, and obviously we'll lose a lot of traction.
Yeah,
if
there's no football
being on. So
got to try and make something for you guys.
Yeah, any of our socials, so Instagram, Twitter,
TikTok
here. Yeah,
and that's it.
And that's about it.